All right, hi again. This is lesson 3 of section 3.1, and we're going to be finding the y on this ordered pair and then the x on the other ordered pair. So we're going to substitute -10 for x and then just calculate this, right? So that's going to be -2 minus 2. So that is equal to -4. On the second one, we're going to substitute the 1 for y and then solve the equation for x. So we're going to add 2 to both sides and then multiply by 5 because that's the reciprocal of 1/5. Remember, whatever we do on one side we must do on the other, and so we end up with x equals 15. So this ordered pair is 15, 1. All right, on this next one we're working this a little bit differently. We're going to fill out this chart, this table of ordered pairs, and you can see for some of these we're going to have the y and then others we will have the x. And so on the first one I'm going to substitute 0 for y, and then basically you're just dividing by -9, which is 0, so x is 0 for that one. And then on the next one we're going to substitute -3 for x and multiply it by -9, so that is 27. And on the last one we're going to substitute 2 for y and solve for x. So we divide by -9 and x is -2/9. Now when you graph fractions you have to just kind of estimate where they go, and then you'll also notice the 27. We normally are not going to graph something with a 27 because the graph would have to be so big. Alright, next. Now this is practice for graphing lines, and we're going to substitute the 0 for y. So there's no -0. 0 is just 0. And so that ends up being x equals 0 plus 4. So my x is 4. Then on the next one, I'm going to put 0 in for x again. No, 0 in for x, not y, sorry. Subtract 4. And then this really means -1y, so you divide by -1, and y equals 4. So basically you're saying when x equals 0, y equals 4. And then on the last ordered pair, -3 goes in for y. Notice it was already -y, so be careful there when you substitute. Put parentheses in and keep that negative on the outside. And then when we have a double negative, right, that's minus the opposite, which makes that a +3, and x is 7. All right, here's another one. Now, on this one, it's a fraction, -1/3 x, and so really it would be nicer if we just chose values for x, but you notice that we're going to substitute 1 for y. This is just good practice. So -1/3 times 0 means y equals 0. On the next ordered pair, we're going to substitute -6 and multiply that by -1/3. So that's the same as 6/3, which just is 2. And then on the last one we have to substitute for y. So 1 goes in for y, and we're going to solve for x. So we're multiplying by the reciprocal of -1/3, which is -3. Anytime you multiply reciprocals, they equal 1, so that isolates the x, and x is -3. Okay. All right, here's another equation. So on this one, the first one, we're going to substitute 4 for y and then solve for x. So subtract 4, then 2x equals 0, so x equals 0. On the next one, we're going to substitute 2 for x, so 2 times 2 plus y equals 4. And then on this one we're going, that's a 4, 2 times 2, subtract 4, and y equals 0. And then on the last ordered pair we substitute 2 for y, so it's 2x plus 2 equals 4. Subtract 2, 2x equals 2, divide by 2 to solve for x, and x is 1. So the table is complete, and I'm going to stop this video, and there may be a few more on the next one.